Oh, hi. I'm Rio, and I'm going to give you the summary to Last House on the Left. And we're talking about, like, the 1970s version, okay? So I watched this movie today with my roommate. Okay, so there's, like, this girl. She's, like, taking a shower. She's naked. She's got no fucking bra on. Her parents are like, man, why are you going out with no bra? And she's like, man, it's the style and shit. So then she goes and she meets up with her friend and shit, and they're going to this fucking concert, and they're like, man, we're gonna get so wasted and shit, we gotta get some grass. So they're walking, they're like in the city and shit, and this bitch usually lives in the country, her name's Mary, whatever. So then fucking like, get to the city, and they're like, man, we're trying to skirt some grass, this is all groovy and shit, and peace. And they're like, he's like, man, I ain't got nothing for you. Then he's like, wait, come back. And he takes him upstairs. Then all these crazy psycho people come. They're like, ooh, you're so cute and stuff. And then her friend gets raped in front of her. So then they cut to this scene, and then they put the two bodies in the car, and then they go out to the fucking field and shit, and their car breaks down. They're like, man, fucking car breakdown and shit. So they take the girls out, and then they're like, man, we're in the forest and shit, like, I want you to piss your pants. And they're like, okay, I don't want to do that. And he's like, ooh, I cut your friend because you didn't piss your pants. And then they were like, oh man, and then they got raped again. And then the other girl ran off, and then she didn't jump in the river, so she got killed. And then the other girl got raped again. And then she got shot in the back, and then in the river, so then, okay, so then, the criminals go to the girls who they, like, raped her 3 times house. And then the parents are like, man, you can stay in our guest house. And the criminals are looking around. They're like, oh, man, that's that girl that we killed. She lives here and shit. So then the mom was listening, and then she was like, oh, man, I heard you killed my daughter and shit. And they pulled her out of the lake, and the dad's like, oh, she's dead. There's nothing we can do. While they're running in their fashionable turtlenecks. So then, after that, what happened? Oh! So then the dad's like, nigger rigging some shit. And he's all like, man, I'm gonna fuck this dude up and shit. And he's like doing this whole fucking high school prank shit. Meanwhile, the mom is like trying to make the other dude like get it on with her and shit. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna tie your hands behind your back and stuff. And then he's like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, man. Give me some head and shit. And she's like giving him head and shit. And then she bites his dick off. And he like dies. That's the end of him. We go back to the house, and then dad's getting, like, fucked up by the other guy. All his little booby traps didn't work. And then the son comes out, and he's like, oh, I'm going to shoot you. And the guy's like, no, you're not. Shoot yourself. So he shoots himself. And then after that, dad gets a chainsaw. He's like, rah, 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 with the chainsaw. And then, like, the mom is, like, coming back. And then the other lady's like, whoa, here I come with this knife. And she tries to run off. And the mom's like, no, bitch, fuck you. Bah, 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 bah. And the bitch falls in the pool. She gets her fucking neck slit, and then the dad, like, fucks up that one dude with the chainsaw. Meanwhile, like, fucking 5 days later, here come the cops, and then that's the end of the movie. No closure whatsoever. So, we're waiting. Today's the 13th, and the new House on the Left, 2009 is coming out, redone again by Wes Craven, who did the original. So go out, see it, and then we'll review that one.